when you're networking, you want to make sure that you're connecting with the other person that you're trying to connect with. So sometimes that comes in the form of telling a story. And today I have the doctor. The doctor is in, Mr. Mike Dokter from the Launch Collective. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Now, Mike, you always tell people you have various clients and you're trying to help your clients to connect with others and connect their messaging. So you talk about storytelling. Tell us how storytelling can be effective while you're networking.
Absolutely. Well, as an individual or as a business, I think it's incredibly important to figure out how to craft your narrative and how to tell your story.
Okay.
People relate to stories and have related to stories for thousands of years. From Beowulf to Homer's Odyssey to all of the Bible stories and everything up until now. People relate to stories. They understand them. It registers with them. It's how we process the world and how we connect the world. So if I'm going to tell you a story and I say, when I was in first grade, I had a really bad class photo taken. Well, okay.
A lot of us, I think.
Yeah, I think it's everybody. But if I want to be the one that you remember, then what I do is I tell a story about it. I say, when I was in first grade, my mom used to try to keep me out of trouble, but I never really paid attention. I always had to learn for myself the hard way. And so I used to have this scooter, an old school scooter from the early 90s. It was green. It had the little pad that you put your feet on.
Not the green one.
It was the green. It was the green one. It was the green, big white tires, neon, whatever. Really, really bad. And I was going down this big hill in front of my parents' house, and I flipped over the handlebars after I hit a stick, and I scraped up this entire side of my face. And the next day was class photos.
Oh, wow.
And so that is a whole different story.
What a difference.
Than the first one. And it registers more with people. And so instead of being that person who had that bad class photo taken, tell them why they want to remember that you had that bad class photo taken.
Oh, great. So I can see how that could work with networking, because you want to be remembered and you want people to know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a formula to it. There's three-part storytelling. Every story has a protagonist, which is what the story is about. Every story has an antagonist, which is the problem that the protagonist needs to overcome. And every story has a solution or resolution. So as a business or as an individual, you want to set up a platform on why you're valuable. And you're valuable if you solve problems. So it's important to try and craft a narrative around an issue that someone may be having, you or your client, and figure out how to communicate how your firm can solve that problem through that narrative.
That is great information. Thank you so much for sharing. Now make sure when you're networking that you connect your story to the person that you're trying to connect with, and you also want to make sure that it's something that's interesting about you. So thank you for sharing that. Mike Dokter, could you tell us a little bit more about your firm and the name and everything like that? If they want to catch up with you, how can they do that?
Absolutely, yeah. Our firm is called the Launch Collective. It's basically a company that houses independent contractors.
Awesome company, might I add.
Thank you very much. And we work independently efficient, but we're still collectively creative, so we're able to provide deliverables to our clients without all the overhead that a lot of traditional advertising agencies have. And you can check us out at the launch-collective.com, or my personal website is MikeDokter.com, spelled Dokter. I'm the Dutch one without the money.
So. Oh, brother.